It wants to become a hen or a pigeon, and then it has to cut its legs, or really has to squeeze for it to be able to fit in these small spaces. But if an ostrich is just an ostrich, it will appreciate what it is. It doesn't have to become anything that it is not. Like I said, a snail, even though people might find it kind of disgusting the way it moves and all that, it accepts that is what its nature is, and it moves with the love of itself. See, sometimes there are certain situations we do not want to be seen, or people we don't want to be seen by, because we may be judged in one way or analyzed in one way or another by other people. So we are always worried about people outside ourselves, and at times we end up betraying our own foundations. And once you lose your foundations, then you start wandering around. So in order for you to maintain stability, you start wearing other people's identity. That's why people look up to celebrities. They look up to certain athletes, certain people who have lived by their own codes. But for how long are you going to look up to people and forget yourself? Because yourself also has an operating system, and that operating system that we ignore, saying it's not good enough. It is really good enough, it's just that we do not really exploit it to the full essence. We just take bits of it, and then we realize people are judging it negatively, and then we pull it back, because everyone wants to be accepted these days. The best acceptance is always from yourself, because like I said, we are always by ourselves by the end of the day. And if we do not choose to accept ourselves, no matter how many people accept us, it will never be enough. People want to accept you because you have a certain value, or you give them a certain kind of precious outlook. A chef is only accepted by what they cook, but after that, then what are they after the food is cooked? Because once people eat, they forget that the chef even exists, until the next hunger. Then they will realize, oh, we have a chef. So the same treatment we give to ourselves is the same negative treatment you're likely to receive from others, because as much as we fear to be abandoned by people, eventually the fear that you have will always become your biggest antagonist. And they say you can never run away from yourself. Your shadow will always be by you, and your shadow, at times you see somebody embodying it, and you want to beat it out of these people, because everyone these days wants to be a certain being. You don't want to call it fake, because there's still some originality in what they embody. It's just that you're trying to embody a story that is not yours. You're trying to write a story that is not yours. You're trying to inject yourself as a character in someone else's script, and the story is always decided by the one who is writing the script. So if you inject yourself then in the script, you are going to live by the rules of the script writer. So the script writer practically becomes your god in a way. So whatever you do with that face that you are wearing, that is, not really you. will always be written by the original person who was wearing that face, regardless of how you look at them. And even if you take it down and put another face, put another face, put another face, before you know it, you are in an identity state of crisis. You do not have an identity here, just you became blind. It's like you gouge out your eyes and you're just moving like a real-time zombie. So that's why you find some people in this psychiatrist and all that, because, or throwing tantrums and all that, because they have worn so many faces to a point where they forgot where the original face was or where they left it. So it's like you veered off a road and you got lost in some darkness, and you don't have any lights to come back. And most people fear going back to get that face, because now the vehicle that you are moving with kind of ran out of the fuel. So now you have to walk through that darkness. Now you have to fear all the possible things that can happen to you in that state of darkness. Sometimes you cling on people to help you. Most of these people might come across are empaths. So an empath may see how, because empaths can see through the said faces that people put around. It's like kind of an X-ray vision. No matter how many faces you put, they will always see the true you, and they'll see how you're in this ocean where you shipwreck yourself, and you're just floating with this one log of wood. So you're just trying to glide your way to the nearest island or the nearest shore, but if you look at the horizons, you don't even see the shore. You're just in the ocean deep, and the ships that you're able to see are way far. No matter how you scream, the voices just dissolve in the winds and the fog in the ocean. You get run over by storms, hurricanes that build in the water. So is it really worth it to lose your own self-identity? Because even a robot has an identity, and once you remove that identity from that robot, it's something else. So we keep names they have their own significance, because they assist you to ground yourself even though there is always a story or two about saying the government owns you on this and that. No one owns anything, even the government itself. Everything is as is. All those papers that people have, you own this, you own that. In the real sense, everything is just is. Because if you really own something and it comes and gets destroyed by the floods